Rev up your engines. Now, buying the first car can be a scary situation. There's all kinds of different cars out there. There's all kinds of people selling them. So I'm going to give you some advice on how to do it the smart way. Now, I know a lot of young people think, oh, I want to get a sports car for my first car. Well, a lot of times that's not such a smart thing to do, especially if you got a limited amount of money. Buying a used sports car can be a big mistake, as guys tend to beat them. You get a used one, they often have a lot of problems that they're going to cost you a fortune to fix. Now, if you have money and you're talking about buying a brand new sports car, heck, I've had plenty of customers buy Ford Mustangs brand new and take care of them and be happy with them. But buying a used sports car, that's often a big gamble. If you're going to do it, pay a guy like me to check it out first. He'll tell you whether it's a decent deal or not. Over the years, I've had guys say, hey, I can get this used BMW for a really good price. I think I'll buy it as my first car. Those things are endless money pits. They're cheap because they have all kinds of problems that cost a fortune to fix. You want to stay away from cars like that. Instead, you might think of sporty cars. Okay, this is my old Toyota Celica. Not really a sports car, it's a sporty car. The thing is based on a Toyota Corolla platform. And yeah, that's a really old car now, but the Scions that Toyota's made for years, hey, they were sporty cars too, and there's plenty of them out there that can last you a long time. And here's a big tip. When you're buying a first car, don't just go out and get one that's got all the bells and whistles, because all that stuff generally is going to break down, especially if you're buying a used vehicle. Things like four-wheel drive or all-wheel drive, as cars get older and those things break, they can cost a fortune to fix. So my advice for the first car is go simpler. Just get a front-wheel drive car or a rear-wheel drive car. Don't go and buy all this fancy stuff that can break down and end up you regretting your decision. So the first thing you have to think about when you want to buy a first car is, how are you going to drive it? How many miles are you going to put on it? What is it going to be used for? Now, if you're going to buy a first car, I don't advise going to the big car dealerships because they generally charge way too much for the cars. But you can use them to your advantage. Because if you're not sure what type of car you want to drive, you can test them all out there. I told customers, hey, you might not like this car. They don't ride that well, even though you think you like the way it looks. Go to a used car lot. Try them out. See if you like the way they ride. You might say, oh, that thing really rides horrible. I'm not going to buy it. Or you might like it. And here's a tip for people who just say they have to have an SUV as a first car. Realize that SUVs, especially in the United States, are very popular. So their prices are sky high, even used. You can get a much better deal, say, on a Toyota Camry sedan than you're going to get on any Toyota or Lexus SUV. Do a little bit of research. It's your first car, you never had one. Check out the resale value and the repair histories online. If you find that a car has a really horrible resale value, there's generally a very good reason. Sometimes it's better to buy an older, reliable car than it is a newer one that's a known problem. I mean, hey, if you found a Toyota Corolla that was 15 years old and had 140,000 miles, it might way outlast any Chrysler product, even if it's only 10 years old and has 60, 70,000 miles. And here's my last tip. Never, ever buy the first model of anything for your first car. If you're buying a new car, buy one model that's been out for a while. Don't get one that has this brand new type of engine or brand new type of transmission, because many times they make mistakes on them. I've had customers buy these Mazdas with the Sky Active technology only to find that the variable valve systems were breaking down in them and cost thousands and thousands of dollars to fix, because there's a great deal of difference between buying the latest, greatest phone technology for maybe $700 or $800 and forking out a ton of money for a car that's got new, unproven technology. And you're thinking about getting a hybrid as a first car. Realize that buying those things used is a real gamble. Unless, of course, you're buying a brand new one and you've got money to burn. They can last for quite some time before they have problems. I got many customers with them that got well over 100,000 miles out of them before anything serious went wrong. Just realize that they cost a lot more, and really, you never recoup the money difference in gas mileage versus what you paid for the car versus the depreciation of the car. believe me. And say you're just looking for a regular car. I know people are going to think I'm crazy because they hear me say how I can't stand Volkswagens, but in Europe, lots of people drive Volkswagens. I talked to a guy in Romania, and he said, Scotty, we can't get parts for Toyotas here, but there's parts for Volkswagens all over the place, and lots of people buy Volkswagens and drive them. So if you're in Romania, hey, your first car would probably be a good deal to buy a Volkswagen. So now you've learned a bit about buying your first car, and just remember, it's your first car. It's not the only car you're going to have. You just want to make sure that your first car isn't a very bad decision. So if you never want to miss another one of my new car repair videos, remember to ring that bell.